Norway is a country I wanted to visit for a very long time. Cycling there has been my dream, and now is the time to do it. I'm gonna do it in 10 days, but only thing I have at the moment is just a ticket to Copenhagen. It's not far, but it's not where I want to be. I'm planning to do EuroVelo 3, which starts from Trondheim in north of Norway and goes all the way down. It's a very long road, but I'm gonna do the section from Trondheim to Oslo, which is about 600 kilometers. And I'm a bit late, and now is the end of beginning of August, which is the high season for Norway. A lot of booking, and it's gonna be my first time riding alone for a long distance. Of course, gonna be a bike packing trip. It's gonna be first time achieving such a long distance. It's gonna be about 115 kilometer a day and above 1,000 meter elevation for almost every day. And let's see if we can book my trip. So I just got an email from Rail Ninja, the company that I was booking the train with. Well, they managed to book me a seat on a train on Sunday, 8 a.m. to Trondheim. That's a good news. The bad news is that I had to cancel my trip on a Saturday, and they told me they're going to refund me within 7 to 14 days, which is unfortunate. That's way too long for a trip that just didn't happen. And I find out the actual website that is selling the ticket. They had a seat available, but Rail Ninja, they weren't able to book it. Not sure of what happened. How did it occur? And also the train for the next day that I booked from the Train Ninja was 10 euros more expensive than the actual website. Second thing is with Rail Ninja, I wrote to them that I have a bike, but I didn't get a reply on that, so I'm not very sure if I can put my bike in there. Even on their website, I'm not able to book a place for the bike, so that's still something that I'm not very sure about. It's a bit worrisome because based on my research that there is very limited availability for the bicycles, and given that it's a high season, it's quite luckily that there is no place. So about that, I'm gonna see, and hopefully my luck is good enough and I find a spot. Otherwise, I think we'll find a way. I trust in the nice people of Norway to let me in on that train. Otherwise, a lot of things going to change. Positive side is that I get to see Oslo. I've never been to that city, so which is a great thing. And given that I will be arriving in the Sunday afternoon, about 3 p.m., it's not gonna be great to start cycling right away. So given the 7 hours, 6 hours of the train ride, and also based on organization, the first day is going to be a 115-kilometer ride with 1,000 meter elevation. It's been divided into 6 days. The first day that you see here is I'm going to start probably early morning in Trondheim, and it's gonna be about 1,000 meter. This section ought to be easy, so I'm not so worried about that. There is a bit of a hill up here, so the first day it's quite a lot. To be honest, in my life I've never done such a distance with such a elevation, so it's gonna be first time. To me, it's gonna be doable based on my experience and my understanding of how things are. And on the second day is going to be similar, on the third day as well, which I think after 3 days of having a crazy ride like this, I need to take a 1 day break, and then I'm gonna continue the rest of the trip, which is going to be a D-Day, because I'm gonna have a crazy 1 day after my pause, and that's gonna be about 135 kilometers and 1,050 meters of elevation. That's going to be very hard. But that's gonna be my Everest. That's gonna be the challenge of the trip, and the rest of the remaining 2 days is going to be relatively easy. And hopefully, I'm gonna make it 1 day before my trip back to Copenhagen, and I'm going to spend the night in Oslo, and things gonna be great. Now I have a dilemma in front of me. I can book Airbnbs and hotels along the way and every stop that I have. The positive point of this way is I gonna get the warm shower, very nice bed, and gonna sleep well, and just gonna be looks and legendary. But the negative side is that I will be bound to a schedule and I won't be able to make changes if I see something changes. And considering there's gonna be a lot of rain in Trondheim in August, it's possible that the atmosphere doesn't allow me to do all these 100 kilometers that I planned. So if that happens, I could just stay put and maybe take the train to the next station, improvise as I go based on the weather condition and the circumstances that arrive. But if I do the booking, it's gonna be really hard to change plans unless I found something that is can be cancelled within the day, which again is gonna be another problem. So I'm gonna sleep over it and decide what I'm gonna do for the rest of it. And if I want to do camping, if I don't want to book my stuff, I need to carry a lot of equipment, tents, which I don't have. I gotta take a hammock. Of course, I have a tarp. I have my sleeping equipment and everything, but that's gonna be extra 2 kg. And I also need extra bags on my bike. I'm not ready to have a camping gear on top of my bike, so that need to be ordered as well. Let's see where we go.